So somebody has turned off all of the exterior lighting to the outside of the 191 Green Street building, and also all of the exterior lighting to this building. I got back to the building at around 12:45 this morning from the MBTA after leaving the building at 10:15 a.m. When I left the building at 10:15 p.m. I left the building at 10:15 p.m. And was gone for about 2.5, 3 hours. When I left the building, all of the exterior lighting on the side and the rear of the 191 Green Street building was on, as was all of the exterior lighting along the side and back of this building. None of the lights are on right now on the outside of the 5 Union Ave building, including the light to the front stairwell. I actually made a video of that as I was approaching the building at 12:45 a.m. from the MBTA station. As you can see, none of the lights are on. None of the outside lights are on. It's actually starting to get a little bit light out because it's about 4:40 a.m. And I was kind of waiting to see if the lights would get turned back on during the course of the night, because it is really unsafe to have no light in the doorway of the laundry room, no light in the doorway of the 5 Union Ave building. There's actually water on the pavement that looks like it's starting to dry. So it's not because there's lights on that there's light spots on the pavement. It's because the pavement is drying out. But again, there's no lights at all on anywhere on the outside of this building. The light that you see right there is a street light. That is the only source of light anywhere along this stretch of the 5 Union Ave building. And again, I made a video of that very clearly showing the complete lack of exterior lighting along the side and rear of the 5 Union Ave building when I returned to the building at 12:45 a.m. Again, I left the building earlier that evening, this past evening at 10:15 p.m. All of the lights along the side of the 5 Union Ave building were on, including the light to the front stairwell and to the front doorway. But as you can see, between 10:15 p.m. when I left this building and 12:45 a.m. when I returned to the building, somebody turned off all of the exterior lights to the side and the rear of the 191 Green Street building. And as you can see, the doorways of the 191 Green Street building are completely dark. There's no light illuminating any aspect of that doorway or stairwell, as are the lights to the 5 Union Ave building. These are off. The light spots that you see on the sidewalk are simply because the sidewalk is drying off, and there is a street light that's on right there, and that is the light that you see shining onto the sidewalk. But again, when I left the building at 10:15 p.m., all of the exterior lights along the side and the rear of this building were on. All of the exterior lights along the side and the rear of the 191 Green Street building were on. When I got back at 12:45 a.m., all of the exterior lighting in the rear and the side of the 191 Green Street building were off, as was all of the exterior lighting along the side and the rear of the 5 Union Ave building. Somebody turned off all those lights between 10:15 p.m. when I left the building and 12:45 a.m. when I returned to the building. That is an extremely unsafe situation. You can't see the stairs, you can't see the door, you can't see if anybody is lurking in any of these doorways or behind the back of the building. It's kind of dangerous given the low-life scumbags that the Greenville Group rents to in these buildings in large numbers that have some serious issues where women and women's bodies are concerned, have extensive histories of sexual and physical violence towards women and towards other people in general. And this is just not a safe situation. When the Greenville Group turns off all of the exterior lighting to two buildings between 10:15 p.m. and 12:45 a.m. on a Saturday night. So again, all the lights along the side of this building are off. Completely dark. And the one light is the street light right there. That's the street light. Everything else is off, including the parking lot, which was completely dark when I checked it out as I was approaching this building. I couldn't believe how dark this whole corner was. And somebody turned off lights to the parking lot as well. That's just weird. There's also mice in my unit. So I don't know if it's because it's been raining throughout the night. It's a very cloudy morning, as you can see. But the mice are alive and well in this unit and have left all kinds of shreddings and droppings under my sink, around my bed. Oh my God. And there's just like all of a sudden there's a ton of marijuana coming from the bathroom of 78 right now. The psycho scum, disturbed stalker Irizarry, is currently in the bathroom of 78. My entire unit right now is filling with marijuana smoke. Just as I started to make this video, I stuck my head out the window and there were no marijuana fumes in my apartment. And now it's like marijuana is just pouring from the bathroom of 78. That piece of shit is so disturbed. She's always smoking in that bathroom, and she doesn't even live in that bathroom. It's vacant and empty, according to what her handlers at the Greenville group keep telling me. They're the ones who keep telling me that unit is vacant and nobody's in there. Well, there's somebody behind that wall right now filling this entire corner, including this window area, with sudden, intense, overpowering amounts of marijuana that were not happening 6 minutes ago when I started making this video. And I have the window wide open. Why am I suddenly smelling overpowering amounts of marijuana that are literally just suddenly filling this area when I have the window open and the air conditioner going? Look, I even have the air conditioner going. And yet this entire area within the last 6 minutes suddenly filled up with really sickening, intense amounts of marijuana. Why? Because Greenville's psychotic attack dog, a paid career criminal named Jasmine Irizarry, is constantly accessing the vacant premises of the bathroom located behind this wall, which is where she was officially housed by the Greenville Group between 2013 and 2022. According to Mr. Oleg Lisiev, the property manager and apparently her best friend, she was moved out of Unit 78 in 2022, but continued to be housed in this building. Because my question to him when he told me this was, I said, does she still live in this building? He said, yes, but maybe we'll move her across the street to 191. Well, he didn't do that. And he continues to permit her to access the premises. Oh my God. Yeah, now there's so much marijuana smoke in here. And my voice is getting hoarse and I'm having a hard time talking. This happens every single time that the psycho scum Irizarry starts filling this entire corner from the bathroom 78 with marijuana smoke. It literally just sticks in my throat. For people who don't smoke to suddenly have to deal with like intense amounts of marijuana smoke, even if marijuana is legal, it is still a narcotic and it is extremely harmful. It is not a healthy thing to have to breathe in, especially when the psychopath sitting behind this wall deliberately burns and propagates intense amounts of marijuana that go on and fill this unit for hours. That's nuts. And at the same time, there's mice in this unit. And they've been leaving these little shreddings all over the floor and droppings underneath my sink. And I made a video about that on Friday. Oh my God, this entire area right here by this window is literally filling with marijuana suddenly. And I have the window wide open. I shouldn't have to be breathing that in spite of the fact that I have the window open and the air conditioner going. And this wasn't happening 8 minutes ago when I started making this video about how somebody shut off all of the exterior lights to the side and rear of both the 191 Green Street building and the 5 Union Ave building between the time that I left the building at 10:15 p.m. and the time that I returned to the building at 12:45 a.m. All the lights were suddenly shut off, even though they were all on when I left the building at 10:15 p.m. That is some nasty stuff right there. Now it smells like cigar smoke. So whoever is sitting in the bathroom of 78 filling this entire area right here with smoke seems to have suddenly switched it up, and now it smells like cigars. It was marijuana up until about a minute ago.
Hello, you've reached the Greenville Real Estate Group. Our office hours are from 9 to 5, Monday through Friday. Our office is currently closed. If this is an emergency, please press 1. Otherwise, press 2 to leave a voicemail. After the tone, please leave a detailed message with your name and number so we may get back to you when we return.
Hi there. It's right around 4:45 a.m. on Sunday, June 23rd, 2024. I'm calling to report multiple ongoing breaches of habitability and code violations currently occurring in my unit of residence right now at this hour. Because there is a psychopath who keeps accessing the premises of the bathroom located behind the wall of my kitchen sink and of my bathroom, which is a vacant bathroom of Unit 78 that formerly housed a psychopath named Jasmine Irizarry, and Ms. Irizarry continues to evidently be permitted by the Greenville Group to access the premises of her former bathroom. And right now, 6 minutes ago, Ms. Irizarry started deliberately burning and propagating sudden, intense, and sickening amounts of marijuana smoke from directly behind my kitchen sink, which is the wall of her bathroom, and the area around my windows and my kitchen sink rapidly filled up with what are nauseating amounts of marijuana smoke, even though I have the window wide open and the air conditioner going. At the same time, opening my window to ventilate my space showed me that the Greenville Group does not have any working exterior lighting along the side and the rear of the 191 Green Street building and the 5 Union Ave building at this time. Somebody shut off all of the exterior lighting to the side and the rear of the 191 Green Street building and to the side and the rear of the 5 Union Ave building sometime earlier this night between 10:15 p.m. and 12:45 a.m. When I left the building at 10:15 p.m., all of the exterior lighting along the side and the rear of both the 191 Green Street building and the 5 Union Ave building were fully functioning, and every single light bulb was on. When I came back to the building at 12:45 a.m., every single exterior light bulb along both buildings, the side and the rear, including the parking lot, had been shut off, including the doorways. Everything was dark. The doorways, the sidewalks, the parking lot, and the corners. All of the exterior lighting along the side and the rear of the 5 Union Ave building and the 191 Green Street building had been suddenly shut off between 10:15 p.m. and 12:45 a.m., which is a time span of just 2.5 hours while I was out of the building. This happened after I left the building at 10:15 p.m. Again, when I returned to the building, the entire area of Union Avenue between 191 and 5 Union Ave was completely dark, unlit, including the doorways and including the parking lot.